Hey, my name is Joe,
And I'm Mary Beth.
and this is the best of Gen X.
We are in our 40s.
And we're siblings,
We'll talk about adulting in a world so different from the one we grew up in,
so excuse us while we save a generation.
one episode at a time.
Let's go.
Hey, Joe.
Hello, Mary Beth.
How are you?
Good, I missed you.
Missed you.
I haven't seen you since
My birthday spectacular!
Tuesday.
Oh, gosh, was that only Tuesday? It has been a year since then.
Yeah.
We've had a lot happening in the last 2 weeks since our last episode. It just feels like, I'm worn out still.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Did I tell the story about how I gained a year?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've told it on here.
I don't remember if you've told it on here.
Well, just in case I haven't.
Probably worth a remention.
I realized back in late spring, I realized that I had been thinking and telling people for the past year that I was 48. And then something made me do the math. And I realized I was 47. So I was like, hey, when it's my birthday, it's like I gain a whole year because I've already been 48 for a year. And now I'm 48 for real. So
I think you did say it on an episode. I'm having deja vu.
So I'm 48 and fabulous. Loving
Do
it.
you feel better at 48 than you did at 38?
Oh, physically, well, no. But actually, yeah, I think I do physically. Overall, yes, I do. I have really enjoyed some of the perks of getting older that no one tells you about. You're always warned about the bad things. Oh, the aches and the pains and the wrinkles and the gray. And I haven't, first of all, minded, looking older. Even though my mother was right when I was breaking out and all my friends had perfect skin in high school, she would tell me, you're going to be grateful that you had oily skin your whole life because now nary a wrinkle, Joe, nary a wrinkle.
Is that like the benefit to it?
No, I mean oily skin. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. I kid, but seriously, Mom would tell me that and she was right. So
You go, girl.
I don't think I look 48.
You do not look 48.
But I don't really care so much about that. It's really just about being comfortable with who I am and not caring what other people think.
You're
Like,
right at home with who you are.
I am.
That I can attest to.
Yeah, and it was a hard road to get there, but I've been there for a couple decades now. And I think being alone for 10 years as a single mom really helped with that because you kind of have, you get to a point where it no longer serves you to blame everyone else or to blame someone for putting you in that position or to blame someone for breaking your heart or rejecting you or making you feel shitty. At a certain point, if you want to move forward and you're never going to get the apology you think you need or the validation you think you need, you have to start looking inward and go, okay, if I'm going to get out of this pit, I have to take some ownership somewhere. And a lot can be learned about yourself from that. And I think that's where wisdom comes from. I think that's where courage comes from. Aside from the wisdom and the courage and all of the supernatural stuff that you get from the Holy Spirit. But just in the earthly sense, a lot of courage and a lot of wisdom comes from that experience. So I've been very comfortable with who I am for some time.
I feel like I should charge you $100 an hour for unloading me like that.
I'm sorry. Sorry for the info dump.
No,
but
this is actually a cool age, cool decade, honestly.
it is.
It
I've
really
enjoyed
is.
my 40s.
I know you're not technically an empty nester, but you're very, very close.
Yes.
And I'm sure Mallory's hardly ever there. She's probably doing all her social things, but it's cool. It's a cool period of life.
Yes.
Like, I love being a 46-year-old empty nester.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
It is.
What has changed over the last month and a half, 2 months is I need readers now. I've graduated to readers, but that kind of sucks. But I can see better. I'm reading something up close.
I remember, I think it was Mom's birthday dinner where I saw you put those on for the first time.
I couldn't see the menu.
And I was like, what is this, brother?
Couldn't see the menu. Everything was blurry.
So seeing you with readers after Jen has bifocals and I have bifocals, it was a cool step forward. I'm proud of you.
I literally could not see the menu. If I had it that close to my face, I couldn't see it.
Now, you still refuse to go to the eye doctor and get,
I know
get actual glasses.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I'm well aware I need to, but
yeah.
the readers have been a godsend.
yeah, they
I
make
go
a
to
difference.
restaurants, I can see the menus. Like if I'm looking at my phone, especially at night, I have to have them. Otherwise, I can't see text clearly. It's just everything looks very, very blurry.
Yes,
So that's a new development.
it is. It's one that you have finally begun to embrace. Proud of you.
Thank you.
But speaking of, my birthday, it was so much fun. It was great to have you and Mom and Dad there. I didn't expect you guys to come and actually watch us skate. But once I realized Mom really wanted to, I started to get really nervous. I psyched myself out like in the days leading up because, to the lay person, you hear, oh, she's been skating for 7 months. So I felt like that living, breathing meme where it's like what my friends and family think I do versus what I actually do. And 7 months only translates to roughly 16 hours total of instruction time. That doesn't count practice, but actual instruction time. So I was worried about expectations and like things that like tiny moves that I do on the ice are a big deal to us and not to the people watching. They're like, where are the spins? Where are the jumps? And I was doing spins. But so all that said, you guys were super supportive and it was so much fun. I felt like a 12-year-old having the birthday party of her dreams. And then we went to Havana Rumba. We had a large party and everybody was drinking and laughing and it was so great. It's
a good time.
My birthdays are usually super duds and
Same.
this, and this was a great birthday.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I had a good time.
I sure did. And the Youngblood concert the week before that, amazing.
Yeah.
So good. That kid is so talented. So we had a nice trip to Indy Take Two because the first time we went up there, it was canceled. But it was...
Yeah.
So
I'm glad you had fun.
I've had a great time, but I've got to bring it up at least once an episode. I'm autistic, so the burnout is real. That's a lot of activity for me, and it takes a long time to recharge, and I have felt really exhausted. That's why I said I can't believe all that was Tuesday.
I should have made a drink. We should play like a drinking game every episode. When you say I'm autistic, I'm going to take a drink.
Yes.
Josh will appreciate that when he hears this.
Yes.
Next time you say autistic, I'm going to do this in the background. Drink! Drink!
And hey, given our topic today,
Well,
it'll come up.
listen, I was really excited to tell you this. I found out this little nugget last night.
Great.
It's only going to matter to me,
Oh.
but you enjoy this show as well as I. You introduced me to this show.
Oh, dear.
We clearly are obsessed with the Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
We have made this well known. So the next time there's a Big Bang Theory trivia night, like The Office where we won,
Oh, yeah.
we will have to do that. But I found out, so some people know me, and they know that I was in the fraternity in college, Pi Kappa Alpha. It's a national fraternity. Nickname Pike, whatever. There's a link on the Pike website of prominent Pikes.
Oh, my
Guess
gosh.
who my fraternity brother is?
Joe.
What?
I'm afraid. I'm bracing.
Guess who my fraternity brother is?
I'm excited to find out.
Jim Parsons.
You're kidding me.
Swear to God.
Dude's a Pike?
From University of Houston. Swear to God.
Wow.
So, you know how you see like little articles or little videos on like TikTok and it'll show like old pictures. It'll say Jim Parsons was a member of Pi Kappa Alpha. And you're like, is that fact
Yeah,
true?
you can't really
So I had to
trust.
fact check it. So I Googled it and I didn't see it on his Wikipedia, but then I just Googled his name, Wikipedia. Then I Googled Jim Parsons Pike. It said yes. And then I clicked on the Prominent Pikes website, the link, and it's in alphabetical order. It's NFL players, musicians, actors, Ted Koppel, coach, like head football coaches, basketball coaches. Jim Parsons is in there.
Wow.
I can show you proof on my phone. After
I
the
believe
podcast.
you, but that's
Sheldon
amazing.
Cooper is my fraternity brother.
Wow. I'd be so excited if I received such news.
I'm elated.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it ever since last night.
I could tell you had a giddiness to you today when I arrived.
Wait. Now, we always knew in college that Tim McGraw was a Pike. We always used to talk about that. But I never knew in the last 10 years that Jim Parsons was my fraternity brother. Sheldon Cooper.
Sheldon Cooper. That is pretty damn cool. Brother.
My Pike brother.
You can actually say he's your brother.
He probably knows none of the secrets, none of the handshakes. But that's okay.
But hey, you're prepared if you ever meet him.
We have both been initiated into the best fraternity on earth.
You're prepared with the appropriate greeting.
Yeah, so I saw, Andy's been a special guest on our podcast. Everybody knows Andy, the world's most renowned physical therapist in Southern Indiana.
Yes.
It was cute. I was going to Hobby Lobby to return something yesterday, and then I went to TJ Maxx. You got to do the usual. Got to do Hobby Lobby, then TJ Maxx.
Got to do them all.
And Home Goods, because it's right there. And I'm walking into TJ Maxx. I got my little bag with me, and I hear JoJo, and I turn around, and it's Andy's precious children.
Yes.
With Andy's mother, and they all roll down their window, and they got to give me the hugs out of the door, and I asked them how school was going, and they were like, they love it. For now.
For now.
So, Mary Beth, do you remember that feeling when August rolled around and you knew it was almost time to go back to school?
Oh, yeah. That was like when you had to go out and get an entire new wardrobe, which I was always in favor of.
And the school supply list. I mean, you'd walk into the store with your mom and suddenly you needed like 47 pencils, 3 folders, a box of crayons, a ruler, and the holy grail of school supplies.
The Trapper Keeper.
Exactly. And if you didn't get the cool one, I mean, you might as well just stay home.
If it wasn't Lisa Frank, it was go home. And let's not forget the new shoes. We all needed new shoes because somehow a new pair of sneakers was going to completely transform your athletic ability.
No, it never did.
Not for me.
But there was something different about going back to school in the 80s and 90s. There was no smartphones, no Google Classroom, no social media, and definitely no texting your mom because you forgot your homework.
Yeah, if you forgot your homework, you were toast. Like, it was done.
Yeah, you had to walk into the classroom and face the consequences.
Yes. And if you had to do research, like, you couldn't just ask Google. I look back at all the research projects I did. You had to go to the library, you had to find the encyclopedia, and you had to hope that the book you needed wasn't already checked out.
And somehow we survived.
Barely.
So today we're going to go back to school Gen X style. We're talking about the first day nerves, the clothes, the school supplies, the cafeteria food, the bus rides, the crushes, the dances, the teachers, and all those little things we completely took for granted.
We're also going to find out just how much of that 80s and 90s school experience we actually remember.
And how much we've conveniently blocked out.
But let's be honest, some things deserve to stay in the past.
But the memories?
Those are coming back to school with us.
So grab that Trapper Keeper, sharpen that number 2 pencil, and get ready for a trip back to the classroom.
Class is in session, Gen X.
Okay, Mary Beth.
Yes.
What is the one thing, because the reason we did this episode mainly was all these local schools around us just started school within the last week or two. So it's like everything's a back to school commercial. You see the news with all the buses at the bus stops.
And in our family of origin, our youngest niece is this is the first day of her senior year,
Savannah,
or first
the
week
last
back of her senior
grandchild.
year. So, like, all of our kids after this year are going to be like college age or in the workforce or getting married and
effective adults. Mm-hmm. Crazy. So, okay. So because we're kind of doing this episode in honor of all of these local schools going back and kicking it back into high gear, everybody's been off for the summer, including the teachers, and had their fun. What's the one thing that instantly takes you back to the first day of school?
Well, obviously the commercials, the back to school commercials, but like in real life, the smell of Scotch tape, a perfectly brand new pencil. Every time since I matriculated, I sharpen a pencil and boom, I'm back. I'm a student again. I could never get past that sharpening a freshly sharpened pencil. I was one of the last holdouts of the mechanical pencil.
Same. I couldn't get there.
I love an old fashioned pencil. Yeah, so it's more sensory for me. What about you?
Yeah, honestly, so just like anytime we hit August for whatever reason, or I see all these kids like swimming, or like the Little League baseball World Series stuff comes on. That's when I know like school's about to start, because it's like right around that time where the summer's about over. The Little League stuff's happening, and that's a big deal. That kind of just takes me back to.
When I start to see in our local area, when I start to see advertisements for Sellersburg Celebrates, which is an annual late August,
Like a fair
it's
festival.
kind of like a festival, but if you knew how small our town that we grew up in is, you would think rinky dink, but it's actually grown. Like, it started in our school parking lot,
Like
bro.
it was just a circle around like a middle set of like vendors. You just walk around
Yeah.
the circle.
And now it's at the local park,
Yeah,
and it
people
has
from
a
all
little
over come.
has an outdoor stage, and it's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Vendors from all over come, and
But even people that come, I have personally heard people that have said, "Yeah, I'm from Ohio or Michigan, and we heard about it."
Okay, I don't know about all that.
No, I've had people tell me.
No,
that.
I believe that. I'm not saying is it worth that.
No. Agreed.
It's one of those things where if you live by Derby, you don't care about the Derby, or if you live
Right.
by the
Like,
beach,
I've
you
never
don't care.
been to Derby.
It's been years since I've been to Sellersburg Celebrates, but when I start to see signs or just advertisements for that, that's when I know it's close. And this whole conversation, let's remind people, I was a teacher for 16 and a half years. The conversation is a bit of a tightrope for me, memory-wise and sensory memory-wise, because when the August thing triggered the back to school nerves and excitement. Mm-hmm. But as a teacher, we went into the full year calendar.
Right.
And so after July 4th, teachers everywhere will relate to what I'm saying. You hit a depression. After July 4th, summer just feels over because you just start back so soon. Like, we didn't used to start until the end of August, or at least mid-August.
Yeah.
But when I was teaching, we were starting like in late July.
Yeah, no, I get that. But even if you had that 3 weeks after July 4th, mentally you were already there. So that's why it kind of probably started that depression.
Yeah.
You didn't start right after. You were like thinking about it.
Which is weird to say, because that definitely gives the impression that you don't like what you do. It's just, for me, the stress that I knew was coming was just psychologically overwhelming.
Well, I mean, you knew you were about ready to go into the jungle of all kinds of different personalities, behaviors, attitudes.
It wasn't that.
That's what I would stress about.
Oh, no. I was very good with the students. Well, as someone with autism. Drink. Late diagnosed autism, level 1 autism, high masking autism. So one of my superpowers growing up became reading people. So I always felt very comfortable. It took me a couple weeks to learn the names and everything. But with personality, like, I could read people very quickly. I knew what I was doing beyond a certain number of years. And so I was actually looking forward to meeting the kids. I was a little nervous about setting the right tone. You kind of have to, the grade that I taught and the subject matter I taught, I had to basically scare the bejesus out of them and then slowly reveal my actual personality, which is, more fun and yada, yada. So it was never that. I got along very well with my students. It was not a problem. For me, it was just the stress I knew I was diving into of the late nights, early mornings, endless grading, stacks and stacks and stacks of papers and essays. I always envied the people who taught subjects that could just live on multiple choice and just like boom, 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 boom. But man, it was all consuming. And I was also senior class sponsor with Dad. So that was an entirely other job. There was so much to keep up with. So anyway, it's a very different, the back to school vibes are very different as a teacher than they are for a student. So
yeah, and basically our whole family was some type of educational position in their career, like either a teacher or an aide or something, or an administrator.
Yeah, we come from a long line of teachers.
Aunts, uncles, my sister, grandmother, my parents.
Our great aunt and great uncle were custodians.
Yeah, right.
So we were all
that was our
we
world.
were all up in it.
That was our world, man. That was it. So, what do you remember about? Because obviously, Dad didn't do the back to school shopping.
Oh, right. Right.
That was strictly,
all Mom.
That was strictly a Terry Ledbetter
job
activity. So,
Yeah.
what do you remember about it? Did you like it?
I did.
I
Now,
feel like all kids like that because it's new. It's new stuff.
I felt very alone in that because I could never truly express to you guys or to my friends how excited I was to start school. But I loved new school supplies because to me, the beginning of a school year as a kid felt like a reset, felt like a chance to reinvent or be a better version of myself than I was the year before, because you don't know who you are. You're trying to figure yourself out. And I loved school. I actually loved learning, and I loved the gratification of that good grade and praise from the teacher. So I was very much a nerd, but felt like I could never fully embrace that part of myself. But
Nerd alert.
yeah, that's why I liked it. But you liked it for all the new, just having new stuff.
Yeah, I like the new stuff.
It's always fun to get new stuff.
And especially in younger elementary years, it's brand new teacher, a new set of classmates in your classroom. And I was pretty competitive, obviously. So, especially when I was younger, I knew I was one of the I knew I grasped things quicker than a lot of kids. Mm-hmm. And so I almost couldn't wait for the new teacher just to like show off to the teacher about like what I knew and stuff.
Oh my God, you've been flexing your whole life, bro. You've been flexing your whole life.
I was like, I'm gonna show her how much I know. But that was when I was a kid. Hell, I mean,
that's funny.
As I got older, I certainly didn't care about that stuff.
Yeah, you stopped caring at some point.
Clearly. But yeah, I like the new clothes, the fresh fits, the shoes. And
and I always remember having to pick out the perfect first day of school outfit.
Yeah, that was a big deal. It was very, very important.
That was back when we cared about how we looked.
That was like first impression 101. Like,
yeah,
you got to go to the first day of school looking sharp.
Yes, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
When I was teaching, oh my gosh, those kids would show up in pajamas.
No.
Yeah, like they just rolled out of bed.
No, we were catalog ready.
Yeah, we were catalog ready. We were Sears and Roebuck. Oh!
Right, and then you walked in and you saw some kids, like to your point, even back in the 80s and 90s, you saw some kids that just looked like they rolled out of bed, and I'm just like, I felt bad. I was like,
I did too. I had a lot of empathy
I'm
for
some fresh fits, and I felt bad.
Yeah, I mean, Mom would even take our shoelaces out and fill the sink up with bleach water.
Yeah, I remember that.
And bleach our shoelaces so that they were sparkling white.
Right. Oh my gosh. And you're coming to school with your tan from the summer.
Yeah. Tear Bear made sure that we got off the bus styling and profiling.
100%.
Speaking of the bus. Blech.
What, I kind of like the bus. You don't like it?
No, because I, like most autistic people like me, drink. IBS is a common thread, just like digestive issues and gastrointestinal issues. Like the nerves would get to me, and so a lot of times the bus ride was incredibly horrifying, terrifying. Just make it to school without getting sick. I was so worried about getting sick that I'd make myself sick. So the bus was scary for me in that respect. But also when I was really little, I remember getting on the bus and everyone just stares at you. Just everyone is laser focused on you. And until you found a seat, and what if you didn't find a seat? And that was awful for me. I was so shy, painfully shy. And Mom used to tell me, it's because you're cute. They look at you because you're cute. And that didn't make sense to me. Like, who stares at cute things? Well, everybody. I get that now.
Right, yeah.
But why did you think the bus was fun?
I don't know. I just loved the look of it.
Because you were a normal kid.
I just liked the look of it. I thought it was cool. And you'd seen movies growing up with kids on buses, and I just couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to ride the damn bus. And plus, when I was little, like before school, and you guys were old enough to go to school, and I wasn't, I remember loving seeing you guys come off the bus and stuff.
That's still a running joke in our family. You would come running down the stairs, the bus!
The bus!
girls,
Where's the folder?
where's the folder?
Yeah, I loved it. I couldn't wait to ride one.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it after school. I didn't mind getting on. It was just the build up getting to school.
Yeah. And then I remember the very first bus driver that I remember was Ray Dryer's grandpa.
Local farmer,
And
famous local farmer.
Oh, you remember Jill and Patty?
Yes,
And Patty's always really sweet to me when she sees me still.
but she was rough.
She was rough. But
She was
then,
scary.
But then Jill.
I don't remember Jill.
Jill was like the long, dirty blonde curl.
Yes.
She was like never in a good mood. Everything was always looking
She's
back.
like Forrest Gump. This is the bus, the squirrel.
Basically. I always would see her looking back in the rearview mirror. She was always checking, and I guess that was her job.
Yeah.
But it was never like, hey, how's it going? Hope you have a good day.
I was sure she hated me.
Well, I think she hated everybody. I don't think she enjoyed that.
She
job.
lacked a general warmth.
Yeah.
That you
Her
kind
bedside manner was a little.
that you sort of need. You need a little tenderness to work with little tiny kids.
Yeah. So.
Like you have tiny humans who are away from their mommies and daddies, and you need to give them a little bit of warmth and tenderness
Right.
and love.
She
was
wasn't
not
given that. So I was always kind of afraid to bend the rules on that bus. I was like, are my legs too far out of the aisle? You certainly wouldn't catch me like standing up while she was driving and stuff.
Right. And stand behind the yellow line.
Yeah.
For
Which
goodness
is
sake.
odd for me to say that I loved the bus, but there was a short period where Dad drove us. I remember to school before he was a teacher.
Yes.
But obviously, when he became a teacher, it made more sense to ride with him sometimes. But yeah, I enjoyed the bus for the most part. I thought it was kind of cool.
Here's what I liked. I liked growing up without the computers, so nobody knew. It was exciting to call your friends and find out what class you were in. But there was a stretch there when we were really young that you didn't know who you had as a teacher, as a classroom teacher, until you got to school. Lucky for us, our grandmother worked at the school that we went to, so Mom had the inside track. So we would always find out days before school started. That was exciting.
Yeah, I remember always knowing who my teacher was.
And we
weeks
wouldn't
before.
go. Like, kids didn't have to go. Now registration is a whole big thing. And you go and you have to see your classes and you meet your teacher and
Oh,
you
really?
get... Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember knowing who my teacher was a couple of weeks before school, 2 or 3 weeks before.
We didn't have much heads up like I guess they do now. Well, at least in terms of like who was in your class. I remember sitting in 6th grade, for example, on the first day of school. You didn't know who was in your class until they started filing
walked
in.
We had the same 6th grade teacher, by the way.
Yes, I didn't appreciate her at the time. I did much later. She lacked a little warmth as well,
She lacked a little bedside manner as well.
but she was a very good teacher.
She was.
I still remember things she taught us.
I still do the "you ain't got no pencil" or you remember that lesson she did?
No,
This kid goes, "I ain't got no pencil." She goes, "If you say you ain't got no pencil, then you got a pencil." Then she goes, "Then you have a pencil."
oh, because the double negative.
Yeah.
I
that
remember
lesson.
her big beef with congratulations. It was a T instead of a D.
Oh,
Congratulations.
I remember that one.
And she would say, like, one thing that I carried with me all through school and even as I taught, she said, you can be interested or interested. You can be interesting or interesting, but you can't have interest. It was always interest. That word by itself. Any other form of the word, you could,
Gotcha. Expand it out.
expand it out into those syllables.
She was impactful.
She was good.
Yeah.
Just a little mean. A little mean.
She was, man. She told some kid. Now this is straight up 80s and 90s. I don't know if teachers do this today, but she had everybody stand in a single file line to go to the bathroom or go to the cafeteria. I can't remember what it was. And this poor kid named Carl, he always kind of smelled and had the hair that didn't look like it was washed.
Yes.
And she straight called that kid out. Everybody was lined up, and he was a nice kid. And she goes, but he did give her problems. But she goes, God, somebody stinks, Carl. She goes, you need to start wearing deodorant. And she said that right in front of the whole class. She was standing right by the door, and I will never forget looking at his face. And that dude wanted to crawl into a corner. Die.
We look back on that. Our sensitivities, our sensibilities have changed such that we look back on that in horror. But growing up, it affected us growing up. We would feel empathy for somebody. We'd feel bad in the moment, but how on earth we survived growing up in the 80s and 90s. Like, it was brutal. It was primal.
Oh
like,
my
you just
gosh.
had to, like,
You're talking about develop a thick skin. I mean, you
yeah.
have a choice.
Character building. No wonder our kids today literally can't
Yeah.
do things for
I'm
themselves.
like, if she's going to call him out like that in front of the whole class, I better come to school smelling good,
It wa-
showered.
okay, look, that was back when shame served a purpose.
Right.
It's illegal to shame now.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
why one of my hot takes in an episode in the past year, I said, make shame great again, because shame works as an incentive. And now you break a few hearts along the way, but shame is an incentivizer to do or not do certain things. And when a teacher does that to a kid, you're like, by God, I will show up every day. I will be freshly washed. I will smell great.
I mean, this is 34 years ago when she said that, and I've never forgot the look on his face.
Yeah. And
I mean, kid wanted to die. He wanted.
And now we have, like, the pendulum has gone way too far in the other direction, to where we mustn't, parents or teachers, you must not let your child feel any sort of embarrassment, discomfort, what have
no,
you,
yeah,
any
yeah.
unpleasantness whatsoever. But hey, we learned a great deal from it.
She even doubled down, and she was like, "Daniel, go open those windows."
Oh my God.
I was like, "Damn."
Now, we had an important, I'll go ahead and tell my horror stories. And I kind of have two. Not really, one's not really a horror story, but it was on my mind this morning. This is how much this teacher impacted me. Yes, I learned a lot. She broke my heart. So we went on a field trip to somewhere in Borden. Mm-hmm. We stopped at that Golden Twist or whatever.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This little, like, hole in the wall, little ice cream shop. And it was all prepaid. It was one of those field trips where you had to bring a sack lunch. You know, you didn't have to, parents weren't in charge of feeding the entire classroom. Everyone had to show up with their own lunch. You know, back when parents had to take care of their own child. And so it was all prepaid for. And we each got just a small ice cream cone. And you had to choose between vanilla and chocolate. Now, you know, I've been a lifelong vanilla hater. I can tolerate it better now, especially on top of something very chocolatey.
Oh, yeah.
Or on top of a hot piece of pie.
Yeah.
But at the time, no, I couldn't handle vanilla. And so we're waiting, and they just you see the arms coming out of the window of these workers just passing out these ice cream cones. And Miss Millman, oops, I said her name. Oops. Yeesh. She was standing at the window and sort of passing them out. Now, everyone was getting what they wanted. If they wanted vanilla, if they wanted chocolate. I was patiently, I didn't say a word. I was there quietly, obediently, patiently waiting for my chocolate. And I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, because I was next to her when this arm comes out of the window with a vanilla ice cream cone. And I stood there, and other kids by me were waiting for our chocolate cones. And she just took it out of the lady's hand and shoved it at me and said, "Here, go." And I went straight to the trash can and threw it out. And I cried on the bus on the way home, because everyone got ice cream but me. Everyone got the ice cream they wanted. Now, we had paid for it. Why did I not get the ice cream I wanted? Back then, I couldn't say anything. I mean, I'd say such different things now.
You definitely
I'd
would.
say, "Bitch, I'm waiting for my chocolate. Give this to
Right.
someone else. Thank you, but no thank you."
Damn.
But here's the worst part. We had a Christmas project where we had to represent a different country, and we had to give a presentation on Christmas and how it's celebrated in that particular country. And I had a burning question. Now, the question involved whether or not we had to have our visual aid ready, because she would give us class time to work on it. We had like a week or so, whatever. And well, we had the stuff ready for our visual aid, but we had to make it. We had to craft it. Now, I didn't know if we had to craft it in class or if it had to be ready when we walked in. Like, because it was also going to start, we were going to start presentations. This was a question that could not wait. Wouldn't you agree? Mm-hmm. Okay. I called her at home.
No, you did.
I did.
Oh, my God.
I said, "I have a question about our project." And she cut me off mid-sentence, and she said, "Mary Beth, I am at home. We are not at school. This is my personal time. Do not call me at home. If you have your question, I will answer your burning question tomorrow." Click.
Oh, my gosh.
Hung up on me. You think I didn't cry? I want to cry talking about it.
That was her.
That was her. Same teacher.
Damn.
You know what? I take back everything I said.
Yeah.
I didn't learn anything.
Shit. That's crazy.
But man,
She's.
we grew up in a very brutal time, bro.
That's right. You called your teacher. What a dork.
I had to know.
Okay, well.
I mean, it was a matter of showing up prepared or showing up not prepared.
Okay, well, real quick before we go to break. So, can you think of, like, what was your favorite... Let's just talk elementary. Let's not even go past elementary. Because elementary was such a cool time.
Oh, yes.
It was easy. It was fun.
The politics of middle school and on.
Yeah, but
forget that.
everything was, like, super positive and fun, and you did all this cool things, and I don't know, it just seemed more fun.
It was.
And kids hadn't, like, shaped their personalities and stuff very heavily
That's
yet.
what I meant. Like, we're still finding out.
Kind of got along with everybody for the most part. What was your, like, favorite grade and or favorite teacher that you can remember?
Mrs. Miller, who happened to be one of our grandmother's best friends.
4th grade?
Third grade.
3rd grade.
Was it 4th grade? No, I had Miss
thought Miller
Etheridge.
okay.
Okay, Etheridge,
No, you're right,
she's
you're right.
up there.
She
Loved
was
her.
cool. I didn't have her, but I know her.
Oh, she was a fantastic, and she was Mallory's 4th grade teacher. But no, 3rd grade, Mrs. Miller. And I'll tell you why. The reason that she ranks number 1 for me was because that was the first teacher who read to us chapter books. Mm-hmm. So every day after recess, when she needed us to kind of come down from our frenzied,
Right.
she would read a chapter or two, depend on what was happening in the book and if we were really into it, if we were really listening and engaged and no one was nodding off or causing trouble, like she'd keep going. And so that's when I discovered Judy Blume. She read Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing. She read Super Fudge. And that's when I started reading Judy Blume. That is what I had always loved reading. Like I remember the feeling of learning to read. I remember that sensation, what it felt like, because I felt like I had just unlocked the secret to the universe. And like, for the rest of my life, I'll never not be able to answer a question that I have, mm-hmm. right? That was my little brain. And so this was the first teacher who read to us and made reading so exciting, even more exciting than I already thought it was. And because of chapter books. And I became a voracious, lifelong reader because of her. And because of that curiosity that she fostered with storytelling, I mean, it opened the door to my love of theater and movies and literature and just storytelling in general. It all began there with her. And, no matter what we learned per se in her class, the reading influence she had on me was life-altering, life-shaping.
That's awesome.
What about you?
It's always a toss-up between 2nd and 4th grade for me. And for various reasons, but 2nd grade, I had Miss Hostetler, and she was awesome. And I got to see Grandma, like, walking past her classroom, and I could hear Grandma singing to the cafeteria workers.
It was so great to have Grandma there.
And then 4th grade, I had Miss Hardy. Rest in peace, Miss Hardy.
Yes.
But you graduated with her oldest daughter. I don't know. I just,
I'm good friends with her sister.
She was a tad different too.
Yeah.
But she was always kind to me. And
yes.
I feel like I was in 4th grade when 89 went into 90 after December 31st. So like the decade had changed.
Yeah.
It was just a big year.
It was.
And so I just remember 4th grade a lot. And I had a couple of my friends in my class, and I felt like I learned a ton. Like I learned stuff in each grade. But
4th grade is a very transitional education year.
That's what I'm saying.
You learn fractions.
Yeah. Like
you learn history.
Like I felt like a big boy.
Yeah.
In 4th grade.
Because you're learning things that.
Yeah.
You didn't touch.
And then we went on this really cool field trip to one of those like
historic
colonial, where they had like, they were actors, they were like dressed up as the time, and churning the butter or whatever they were doing. And I just thought that was so fascinating.
Yeah, because for us, 4th grade is when we start learning Indiana history.
Yeah, so it's probably 4th grade if I'm being fair.
Yeah.
But I did like Miss Hostetler. Oh, and Miss Hostetler, I'll humble brag. You remember Around the World, where they flash the 2 + 5. 4+1, the flashcards.
Yes, I love
Miss
I love me
Hostetler-
some
Miss
flashcards.
Hostetler used to play Around the World. So the premise was just pretend like our desks are in rows. The first person stands up and goes to the next person's desk. You stand next to each other.
Oh
And
yeah.
you flash the cards. Whoever gets it right quickest goes to the next desk. You go all the way around and back through.
Were you the champion?
I won in Around the World so much that she stopped playing it. Like all the kids, Miss Hosters are like, "Let's time to play Around the World." And everybody's like, "No," because as soon as she flashed it, I would say it. Like I could just see it so much faster.
Oh my gosh, I always got Artist of the Week awards.
We're such dorks.
We are awesome.
So I made Miss Hostetler stop playing Around the World.
In first grade, handwriting, remember the big fat lined
Yes.
paper?
Yes.
And I had amazing penmanship all through
Same.
school.
Same.
And in first grade, the teacher would compare in front of everyone, which I didn't mind at all because being a teacher's pet was safe. That's how I saw it. If the teacher liked you, you were going to have an easier time
Yeah.
than
You
if
were in.
they didn't. And that just makes so much sense to me. What the hell is wrong with people that don't get that? Anyway, you get teased for being a teacher's pet. Anyway, she would hold up my handwriting and compare it to her handwriting, and it was the same in
Yeah.
first grade.
I believe it.
Dude.
I believe it. You taught me how to write cursive, by the way. Before we go on break, real quick. You taught me how to write cursive when I was 5. And I signed my name in cursive on a little worksheet thing in kindergarten, and Miss Bailey yelled at me in class.
You're too smart. Get out.
I was just like, what? And she's like, we're not learning that yet.
That was another nice
I was
one.
like, but Mary Beth taught me.
Another very warm teacher.
I got in trouble. Oh, and we had show and tell, and I brought my He-Man sword, and she yelled at me in front of the whole class and told me it was we don't bring weapons into school.
Oh, and it's gotten so much worse.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's take a break and come back and reminisce some more about our glory days.
Hey, listeners, do you like judging people as much as we do?
Then judge us.
To submit your criticisms and complaints about our show, you can reach us at gotohell@bazinga.biz.
For all other comments, questions, or suggestions about future episodes, drop us a line. Send us a text from our website at thebestofgenx.buzzsprout.com and click on the link just above the show notes.
Or email us at thebestofgenx@gmail.com.
And we're back.
Hello, we are back.
Now, if you hear that flapping, it's my folder. I'm having a hot flash, so my dear brother doesn't care that I took my top off.
Listen, the studio had the vent closed and I didn't realize it.
Yeah, I'm sitting here in my bra, but it looks kind of like a sports bra, so it's not weird
it
or
looks
anything.
like you're at the gym or coming back from the gym.
It's not weird, I promise.
Yeah, but I can feel it now, so you should be able to feel it shortly.
All right. Well, no country updates, but I realize we haven't. I don't know that I've updated cities. I don't know if I've ever said how many cities we're in.
Maybe early on you did.
We are close to 700 cities.
Really?
700.
I didn't know that. That's
We're
actually news.
85 countries still, but 700 cities almost.
Nice.
Around the world.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
700. Maybe that's a lot of cities.
I know, man.
Good grief. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, and I have some listener feedback.
Okay. You
Hi.
said that as if I need to prepare myself.
Oh, no. I have some listener feedback.
There you go.
Okay. That's my autism. Sorry.
Drink.
Drink. Hi, Mary Beth and Joe. I just listened to your catch-up episode about midlife hobbies, redecorating, buying furniture, wandering the aisles of Home Goods and Hobby Lobby, and the part that stuck with me was how naturally you made those everyday decisions feel like a real part of adult life. That lens feels especially relevant because I feel like so much of midlife is just managing a household, making trade-offs, and figuring out what things actually cost. And I'm not just talking about money. Really enjoyed it. And that's from Kirsty S., but no location. So wherever you are, Kirsty S., thank you so
That's
much.
so cool.
Very nice to hear from you. I'm glad you can relate.
You know, me and Ronnie said something recently. We went to dinner, and we had this conversation of, we just started talking about colonoscopies and all this like adult, older,
Yes.
Human stuff. And I stopped him and I go, dude, can you just imagine like 30 years ago we'd be talking about colonoscopies and Hobby Lobby. Like,
No, like,
it's just crazy.
You
And,
know.
and it's normal now. It seems normal. Talking about readers and colonoscopies and going to Hobby Lobby and enjoying it.
I think I'm the oldest in my little skate friend group.
Yeah.
But not by much. I mean, Shala's in her 40s and Ken is my age. But I overshare, I guess. And I do that with anybody. And I realized I sort of stopped myself just in the last week going, wow, the things we made fun of our grandparents for, just talking about your body and bodily functions and things like that. And it's like, you do overshare those things
Yeah.
with people, like, because that's what you're
30 years ago, we were like, ew.
but that's what you're going through. So
know.
obviously you talk about it.
But like even the Hobby Lobby thing still makes me laugh. I'm like, Beth, you know how many times I've been there this week? Thrice. I have been to Hobby Lobby 3 times this week.
Well, speaking, I'll go ahead and give an update on my redecorating. I am just about there. You came over and put up some kick-ass sconces on either side of my television.
buddy.
They look so cute. But I have been round and round. I'm waiting on the delivery of mirror number 3 for my new foyer look. And it's coming tomorrow. I've settled on it. No matter what it looks like, no matter what the size, I'm I'm staying with it. And you're going to come. Once you come and put that mirror up for me and put my candle sconces on each side, my look will be complete.
Good.
Just in time to redecorate it all for fall.
Good. Speaking of fall, Mary Beth walked in my house today and saw my new autumn light up tree that I have in my living room.
And did I not stand in stunned silence?
Yeah, I was pretty proud of that.
I
reaction.
it silenced me. I had to just admire the general splendor.
I'm pretty good at that
Yes.
stuff. For a dude, I'm pretty good at that stuff.
It was a sight to behold.
Okay.
Do you know what time it is?
Oh, wait a minute.
Hot takes.
All right.
Time for some hot takes, Joe. Would you like to go first?
You know what? Mine's school related.
Mine is too.
Hot take today is handwriting should be taught again in all schools.
I can't. Yeah, we were just talking about that.
So silly. That
Our
it's
Aunt
not.
Gretchen, I was one of the executors of her will. We finally closed on her condo, and the older gentleman was going through all the papers, and we were signing, and that came up like, I can't believe they don't teach cursive writing anymore.
Horrible.
I mean, like, your signature's not going to mean anything.
Horrible.
People can just print their names on legal documents.
I see kids that are Bryson and Mallory's age and Seth's age, and they are some of the worst. They have some of the worst handwriting I have ever seen in my life. And they're in their
Mallory's
20s.
is spectacular, but that's because she's always enjoyed the I'm a teacher, you guys are my students, let me pretend. And in fact, people still contact her to come and do their bulletin boards because she's really good at all
It
that.
makes me sad.
And I
seeing-
taught her
It makes
cursive.
me sad seeing some of the younger generation the way they write and stuff.
Yeah. I agree.
It's such a foreign concept to them. They're like,
Right.
what is this thing you're putting in my hand to move,
Right.
to make words?
And like eventually I guess we'll just rely on AI, but I was going to say eventually who's going to be around to decipher ancient text from 1974 if it's all in cursive. It's like, we found this document at the bottom of a lake. You can still see it, but we can't read it.
I mean, we just live in such a weird time, honestly.
And that's one of the mind-blowing things about when I say what a time to be alive, I mean it, because our generation has witnessed so much.
Good and bad.
Yes.
What a time to be alive. I mean,
so
honestly.
much change and so much craziness and good and bad
Right.
and crazy.
Like, I know we're not here to talk about it, but just like ChatGPT, I could literally go outside right now, take a picture of my porch, and be like, hey, decorate my porch for me.
Done it.
I mean, can you imagine doing that 30 years ago?
I took pictures of my open concept
Can you, but
and
just-
I put it in ChatGPT and I said, give me a head start. Show me what this could look like if I'm going for the darker.
Okay, but rewind 40 years.
Never.
Mid 80s, late 80s. Like, could you imagine being able to do that? I mean, it's just that.
Well, I'm glad that I was responsible for decorating an apartment, decorating my first homes, on my own. I'm glad that we have that skill. I'm glad that we don't have to rely on
right.
it because we have those instincts now. But
But the fact that we can lean on it,
yes,
it's just so. Back then, you would have thought like that's like Jetson stuff.
right.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Okay,
My hot take.
yeah. What is it? Hit me.
My hot take is it's going to offend. I don't care. I don't care. Because it needs to be said. And you hear this mostly from the right. It doesn't need to be a political thing, but it inevitably, anytime people start talking about personal responsibility, the left comes out of the woodwork like cockroaches. Yeah, how dare you? I think we need to go back to a time when we made parents responsible for their own kids. Like when I was getting Mal through school, and we talked about the back to school shopping and everything, and we had a list. Every teacher had a list of what you needed to bring. So you showed up with your Trapper Keeper, your paper, your folders, your pencils, your pencil box, your erasers, your scissors. As a working single mother, I suddenly was responsible for providing supplies for the entire effing class. And it wasn't just for school supplies, but anytime they were part of a team, if it, you had to rotate jobs of bringing snacks, it's like, how about I just feed my child? How about I just get my child? I can barely afford year after year getting her clothes and shoes and school supplies. I got to buy for everybody else. So the list was ungodly long. You're buying Kleenex for the whole room, and every student is having to do that. Not every student, we know.
Right. Yeah.
We're doing it to pick up the slack for the parents who won't or can't. But to that I say, there is an easy solution. When you stop like robbing us blind, we have more money to be generous when and where we can. Americans are notoriously generous. Always have been. So in our community, if there are kids in school whose parents, I bet they have their iPhone and their own nice sneakers and their fake nails. I've seen it. But they can't get their own kid a backpack. Okay, so here's what you do. So the teacher sends a letter home with every parent at the beginning of the school year saying, we have some needs in our school. We need this many of this. And parents will step up, the parents who can afford it. But I hated having to go broke because parents couldn't take care of their own damn kids. I'm taking care of mine.
Yeah.
I think it's a terrible trend. And you say that and people flinch. We are conditioned now to flinch at the thought of any child, like
Accountability. And
no one wants a child to feel embarrassed. No one wants a child to be humiliated. No one wants a child to be called out for the free lunch. Nobody wants a child to hurt like that. However, when we in the first half were talking about that teacher who brought up the smelly kid, as horrible as it is, you're also teaching others what not to do. There is incentive in it comes at a cost of someone's feelings, but there's also learning happening. This way, who's learning what? All we're learning is that there will be plenty of people there to pick up my slack.
right.
And I fucking hate it, and it's wrong. Okay,
Okay.
I'm done. Whew.
I mean, you're right.
Okay.
But, okay. So you talked earlier about sensory.
Yes.
What comes to mind? Like, provide me some sensory memories. Like, that,
When
there's,
you
a, there's a
first-
certain smell about back to school.
When you walk into a school building, now, gone are the days of the chalk dust in the air.
Right. It has been replaced by the new what?
The whiteboard.
The whiteboard.
I tell you what, for years, like since childhood and as a teacher, walking into the school building after a few weeks, the smell of crayons,
That was mine. That was going to be my first one.
the smell of crayons, the smell of erasers, the smell of burnt coffee off in the distance in some lounge.
Oh, good call. I never even went there.
Yeah.
That's a great call.
Yeah.
The smell of fresh paper.
Fresh paper off the printer.
The books had a smell. Yeah, it just had a certain smell.
Oh, the library always had its own
just
smell,
had a certain smell.
which I love to this day. I love walking into a
Yeah.
library.
Yeah, so this coffee. That's a good call.
Yeah. And didn't you love being put in charge of like cleaning the board? Like at the end of the day, we'd have to go to the custodial closet, get a bucket of water, and get a sponge. You and a buddy, and then you go back up to the classroom at the like last 10 minutes of the day or something, and you get to wash the chalkboards for the next day.
Nerd. No, I don't remember doing that.
Yeah, I remember that. I love doing that.
Good for you.
And then you'd like you'd slap the erasers together to get all the
I do
chalk
remember
dust
that.
out.
I do remember that.
I loved a good, nice long piece of chalk.
Was it Milliman? One of the teachers had like a chalk holder thing,
Oh yeah,
almost like a old cigarette holder.
yeah.
Those were cool.
Miss Miller had one,
Yeah, I think Miss Millman had one.
and you could write on the board like a pen, and you wouldn't get chalk dust on your
Yeah,
hands.
I thought that was rad, man.
That was awesome.
Every time she would have me go up to like write with the chalk, I'm like, I couldn't wait.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the coolest thing I've ever.
Yeah, because I didn't like the dustiness on my
Ah,
fingers. It would make my hands feel dry, and I hated that.
But I loved watching a teacher write on a chalkboard.
I did too.
Golly. God, I loved that.
In fact, when I became a teacher and we transitioned, after my first couple of years, we transitioned to the whiteboard. It made me sad. It made me really sad because I enjoyed I'm like, I used to love being called up to the board so I could write with the chalk. And now I get to do it for a living. And they took it away.
Was that, have you ever heard Theo Vaughn's podcast? Man, I love that. Man, I loved watching them do that. And then when you got to like go up there and play around with it a little bit,
Oh, yeah.
you could put the chalk on its side and you could do like the little drawing and stuff.
Absolutely.
Man,
You could like shade in if you held the chalk
Yeah.
against like its side on the
good
board.
night. That was so awesome.
That was great.
We're so stupid.
The sensory.
Okay.
And Play-Doh, I guess. The smell of Play-Doh a little
Yeah.
bit.
Did you ever do the glue, the Elmer's glue, like stick into your fingers so like you could let it dry and like peel it off?
That was something the troublemaker kids did in
Okay.
class.
I think I tried it like one time. I didn't like, as you know, as an adult, I don't like my hands being sticky.
Yes.
So I wasn't a big fan of that.
I didn't do
I
it.
think I tried it once just to see what all the fuss was about. I'm like, nah, I don't like that.
I didn't like
I
it
don't
either.
like that at all.
All the rebellious kid, the mini hoodlums, the hoodlies,
Or some kids ate
the
it.
hoodlets.
Yeah, some kids ate the glue.
The hoodlets would put it on their hands.
Chris
like,
Russell ate the glue. And he put ketchup and mustard on his apple.
oh God.
What was like, and it could be any grade, but if you want to focus on a particular time period, like what was a typical day of school like, did you feel?
You get to school. Sometimes you'd wait in the gym, or you'd go right to your classroom. You'd have to make sure your desk was neat. Sometimes you'd get random spot checks. They'd go around and
I was anal about that.
my
You
desk
get like
was
little
always
walks, like they do little walks,
Yeah.
or whatever you call them.
And so inside your desk had to be neat. Mine was always neat, as I'm sure yours was. I loved the security. I found comfort in the routine of it all. So I knew that for the first hour we did this, for the second hour we did that. I knew at this time it was art class or music class. And the music teacher, art teacher would come get you and walk you down to the art room. And then we'd have lunch, and then it was time for recess. I just loved
I liked the routine of it too.
I liked the routine.
Yeah, I agree with that, and it's kind of true to this day. I'm a routine person, so
Yeah, and our poor kids today, who, well, I mean, your son, my daughter, they were the poor COVID.
Yeah, what were they, freshmen?
They were
sophomores?
freshmen, like the most. Their whole high school experience was just effed up from COVID, and having to do the hybrid learning. So some days they were in the building, some days they had to stay home, and
Awful.
to be half on the computer, half off. Like, they were they missed out on that routine, and now they almost don't know what to do with themselves.
Right.
Like, they've had to sort of find the value in time management and routine, whereas it was just brainwashed into us. But I loved that.
Yeah, and because of the routines, it kind of goes back to the question of like, what was a typical day like? Because you knew the routine, it was so cool to be like, the night before when you're kind of mentally getting ready for the next day, you're like, oh, tomorrow's PE day, or tomorrow we're doing this one thing that I'm really excited about. And I
Yes.
couldn't wait to get there for it.
Yes.
So I really enjoyed that part. The one thing, I don't know if you had, because you were bookwormish,
Mm-hmm.
so you probably didn't have a subject or an extracurricular that you didn't enjoy, but I never liked art.
I loved art.
And I'm sure you did, but I just, I hated art day. I hated
Loved
it.
it.
Like I dreaded it. When
I
knew
loved
it
it.
was coming, I would try to get out of it as best I could.
I was good at it.
And I wasn't like the crafty. I couldn't do crafts and stuff.
I was always pretty good at it.
Like
And
my-
I guess I get that from Dad.
Yeah, like my macaroni would never stick on the thing right. I just didn't like it. Or then we did like the clay pottery kind of thing. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what grade it was.
The ceramics?
Yeah, and I effed that up.
Put things in the kiln?
Yeah, so bad I messed that up. I messed up so bad.
Back in the 80s when we made our parents' ashtrays.
Right. Hey, you can use this on the airplane.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it,
Savage.
and I was bad at it.
What did you? I guess you liked PE.
I loved PE.
I
But
could've-
surprisingly, I liked music class.
I liked music
I
class.
liked music class. What was some others? There was art, music, PE.
I think that was it.
Was that it?
But I didn't mind PE. I just was never good at whenever it was testing time.
Yeah.
I was never the athletic. I mean, we were all in shape. Kids our age at that time.
Oh, like the presidential fitness test thing?
Yes.
We had to climb the rope and do
I
all
could
that.
never climb the rope. I could never climb it.
80s and 90s kids can appreciate this. Can I tell a climbing the rope story?
Yeah.
I was so proud of myself. I got all the way to the top, and I was literally one more movement to the top, and I was about ready to hit the top. You know, I had to hit the top, then come down. And this kid, Nathan, who was like gargantuan for our age. I mean, he was like 6 foot tall, looked like a 30-year-old man when we were in sixth grade. I guess the teacher wasn't looking, and I was about ready to move my arm up and smack the top of it. And he started swinging. He started from the bottom. He started like moving like shaking the rope.
I just coined the phrase, but they're called hoodlets.
Yeah, he started.
They
shaking
become
the-
hoodlums.
He started shaking the rope, so I started coming down off of it. I was so mad. To this day, I'm pissed about it.
I wonder if I could climb. I bet I could climb a rope today,
Yeah, probably.
but I could never ever do it. I don't know why. I just would not make any progress.
I could do it, but damn Nathan shook the rope on me.
And I was never a fast runner.
I was when I was younger, but as I got older, I was not.
Yeah. So those I wouldn't say I'd do without PE, but the dodgeball got pretty brutal. I don't see how. I mean,
Dodgeball,
I mean,
for
one-
obvious reasons.
I enjoyed it, but as we got older, the kids got meaner.
Yeah.
And like they would I didn't like seeing people who claimed to like me aim straight for my face. Like
get
Damon, like he's supposed we're boyfriend and girlfriend. Why are you aiming right for my schnoz? Like why are you doing that?
Damon. I'm gonna text him in our group chat later.
But it was just hard, you know.
Yeah, I mean, now there were certainly PE things that we did that I didn't enjoy, so those were the only PE days I didn't look forward to. It was
But didn't you love the big huge
hated it. That's one of the things I hated.
the round thing that
Hated
you
it.
Oh, with all the fuzzy things in the middle?
Hated it, Mary Beth.
And then you'd get scoop up under it and sit?
Hated it.
Loved it.
The scooter thing, like, you know.
Love the scooters.
If we ever played soccer or anything like hockey.
The things you're talking about, I wish people could see you. We should do video. Somebody, of course, not today because I'm topless.
Yeah. Hey, we put your shirt on.
But to see your face,
This is such disgust.
your face is so crestfallen.
If it wasn't baseball or basketball or football,
Not interested.
not interested.
Let's talk about school lunch for a minute.
Listen, school lunch was banging when we were kids.
It was, and it is so deteriorated.
I know.
I mean, I would walk by the cafeteria as a teacher, and I would see school lunch would literally be your average school lunch plate with a little clear basket of nachos, like that you get at a basketball game, like nachos and like a piece of fruit.
Yuck.
Terrible.
I love it. And they gave you like the full month schedule.
You knew in
calendar.
advance. Now, we switched schools because we moved in elementary. So we went from Sellersburg to Stout. Now, big difference in the lunch experience. At Sellersburg, lunchtime was like an auction, and the teachers helped, and they were involved. Like the teacher would pick up a roll and say, "Who wants an extra roll to trade for his milk?" And like it would be passed.
Oh, really? See, I only went there
yeah.
I only went there that second grade year.
And the teachers, like Grandma especially, and everybody loved Grandma. Everybody loved Doris. She was a legendary teacher there. But the teachers would pick food off your plate and eat it. Like she'd pick off like, "Oh, here, let me take a bite of this. Like, your brownie, let me taste your brownie."
remember that.
Okay, but moving to Stout, my first week at Stout, I almost got in trouble because had not the student next to me said, "Stop." You could not share food with the person sitting next to you, let alone trade something from across the cafeteria.
That was a big no-no there. Yeah, that was a big no-no.
Huge no. It was a huge culture shock for me because it went from teachers like helping you trade to, because the teachers knew that the only thing that mattered was that you ate.
Right.
Okay. You needed to eat something. At Stout, they didn't give a shit. It was like, "No, this is yours. You don't like it? Tough." You know? No trading, no sharing,
I don't remember
nothing.
that about Sellersburg. But like I said,
That was-
I was only there the 1 year.
Big culture shock for me.
Salisbury
Didn't
Elementary.
like it.
I think the administrators kicked me out because I was too good at around the world. They're like, you can't go to school here anymore.
Well, let's talk. Speaking of school lunch, can we just name 5 of the best?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you never wanted to miss chili day.
Chili day.
You never wanted to miss beef and noodles day.
I loved fish day, like the fish sandwich.
The fish sandwich day.
The pizza day.
The pizza day for sure.
Chicken nuggets. I liked that. What are we missing?
I just remember, spaghetti.
Oh, yeah. How did I forget
Killer
spaghetti?
that was your favorite.
I know.
But hey, on spaghetti day and beef and noodle day, you got the rolls. Now these were like Thanksgiving worthy.
Legit rolls.
And
Like,
then
I
they just went away.
I know. I wanted 2 or 3 every time. But
Like I'm sure that there's some store somewhere where you can still get the square pizza. I miss the square pizza.
I wonder if they sell that.
They have to.
Yeah, the square pizza was.
But you never missed chili because you got a peanut butter sandwich with that too. Remember? And you could put as much chili powder in your chili as you wanted.
Yes.
So chili day, beef and noodles, spaghetti, the fish. Oh, hamburgers were good.
Hamburgers were good.
We just had good school lunch.
Yeah, because the fish had tartar sauce, and I would put some ketchup on it too.
But it just, something changed.
Yeah. And then, like, during Thanksgiving, they always had, like, the Thanksgiving.
We had a Thanksgiving dinner kind of lunch. Just something changed. And then when I was a teacher, the lunches deteriorated somehow, which is weird because Michelle Obama, that's when she started her crusade against fat children.
I always remember getting jealous. I would see a certain amount of kids would always come out of the line with their tray, and they would have 2 chocolate milks. I'm like, how did they do that?
I know.
And I figured out that I guess the parents paid extra for
Yeah, because back in the day, we got a lunch ticket.
Yeah.
You didn't pay
a
cash
milk ticket and a lunch
ticket.
And I think the lunch ticket for the week was like $5.
So there was no a la carte.
No.
So I always wondered that too. Like, how do they get 2 milks?
An extra milk ticket.
Where'd you find that extra quarter?
Yeah. I actually found in my school jacket from 4th grade, I found an old lunch ticket. I still have it.
Oh, you're kidding. I'd frame that sucker.
And it says like April 1990.
Okay, tell me out there, listeners, can you relate? Another thing about back to school vibes, we're speaking of the lunches, so we obviously have to speak of vomit. Because inevitably, after this glorious lunch, they'd send us out into the hot sun, onto the concrete jungle, and some kid would vomit. Do you remember what would happen?
Oh my goodness.
The custodian would show up with a bag. Do you remember the contents of that bag?
The contents of the bag?
It was some kind of orange, dusty, powdery thing.
I don't remember that.
Okay. You must not have had vomiters in your class. I had a habitual vomiter. Dude, poor kid, name's David. He would vomit every day. And
Really?
sometimes he wouldn't make it out of the cafeteria.
Because of the lunches?
I think it's just him. Like, he had something wrong with him that he would vomit every day. I guess that's why I got so used to it. But no, back in elementary school, the custodian would show up after someone vomited, either in the building or outside the building, and they'd have this little bag that looked like the size of a chlorine bag.
Interesting.
And it would be full of orange powder.
do not
And they
remember
would
that.
sprinkle that dastardly orange powder all over the dastardly vomit.
I don't remember.
And then it
that.
would harden so that it was easier to clean up.
Interesting. I didn't remember that.
You are lucky. That's traumatizing. That memory, that orange powder, we've got listeners all over the world going, the orange
I don't
powder.
remember that at all. So we must not have had vomiters.
Well, what else? School crushes,
Oh my god.
dances. Now, the dances didn't happen until like middle school and high school.
I didn't really start getting crushes until like 4th, 5th grade.
Yeah.
I'm so overly consumed with like sports and PE. And
I
all
had
crap.
crushes since kindergarten.
Well, I mean, I guess I did, but to where I'll say this, to where I couldn't wait to go to school the next day because of that person. That started like in 4th grade. My neighbor Leah. Remember in the
I remember, my
remember
gosh.
on recess, somebody told me that she was breaking up with me, and I called her up the B word, and I was in 4th grade, and I felt really bad after I said it. Like I knew better, and everybody's like, "Ooh!"
That was back when you couldn't hide behind a screen and you had to face
Yes.
consequences.
And she acted like it didn't bother her, and her friends were like, "Oh my god!" And they took her away, and then her mom or dad called her parents, like they found out about it.
That's what happened back then.
And I had to go to her front door, and Dad drug me to her front door to apologize to her.
Character building.
He did. And it was on his way to one of his basketball games he was coaching. So he's like, "Let's go, I gotta go."
So you had no time to
I
like
had no time.
drag your
Nope.
feet.
And she lived right down the street, basically.
I would have cried.
I probably did. I was standing. He was standing next to me at her front door, and I remember her mom coming out there, and I had to apologize to her.
Oof. Now see, that's character building.
I know it hardened me.
Now parents today, like our parents, if we were born now, our parents would call her parents and make her apologize for being a bitch.
Right. But gosh, yeah, like just the excitement of seeing that person at school, because that was your only chance to see him for the most part.
It was like a date.
As a young kid.
It was like a day-long date,
Basically.
especially if they were in your class.
Oh my gosh. And if they weren't, you would do everything possible to try to get a glimpse of them.
Honestly, let me do a humble brag.
Let's do it.
I don't know if there's anything humble about it. I never had a crush on someone that didn't reciprocate until I was an adult. That's when it was really hard.
I can't remember.
It's like, oh damn, I used to be good at this my whole life.
Right.
Suddenly, when I'm 35, people aren't so attracted to me anymore. But yeah, I never had a crush that didn't turn into something. You remember the days of, did you pass notes? Will you be
yeah.
my boyfriend?
Oh, 100%.
Will you be my girlfriend?
Yes or no?
Yes or no?
Yes.
I broke up with Damon in first grade because he returned a love note because I misspelled his name. He returned it with the correction just to let me know.
But you misspelled it?
But I was so embarrassed that I broke up with him.
I have to tell it. I'm going to talk to Damon after this. We text every day.
That was first grade.
It's first grade.
He walked up with it and said, "You spelled my name with an E."
Wait, did you go to Stout in first grade? I thought you went to Sellersburg.
Sellersburg.
Oh, he went there?
He was my boyfriend, so it was him.
I didn't know that. I thought he was Stout.
He must have moved too.
He must have. That's
But
interesting.
He
That's funny.
he brought it up to me and he said, "You spelled it EN and it's ON." And I was like, "That's it.
We're done.
This is the final straw.
You're done.
We've tried to make it work, and you keep criticizing me."
We're just too different. We're different places in our lives.
But yeah, I definitely remember those. And those sometimes that's what made school worth going to.
Made worth going to. You care about what you wore because of it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff was really important.
Presentation.
Yeah, it's just
really
like,
mattered.
You only had that 6 or 7 hour window to talk to them, see them,
Wow them.
walk by their room if they're not in your class,
Seduce them.
check them out during the lunch,
Make them fall madly in love with you.
Exactly.
And then leave.
exactly, and then leave, and then you never saw them or talked to them again. Until,
If you were lucky, you were either on the basketball team or were a cheerleader, and you would see them after hours. Because we didn't
I was on the basketball team.
cheerleader here. So that was another opportunity.
Yeah, and one year my crush and my little girlfriend was a cheerleader, so she got to see me score points. And she wore my school jacket on recess.
Oh, that was a big deal.
That was a big deal.
We wore the jackets in elementary with our last name on it. Everybody had to have it. You
Yeah,
weren't
it was
cool.
It was like peeing in the corner, like marking your territories.
Yeah, you weren't cool if you didn't have a jacket,
Right.
a school jacket. And then to wear your boyfriend's school jacket
It's
was
a big deal.
a big deal.
Yeah, it's kind of like the equivalent of like a Letterman jacket, but it was in 4th grade, 5th grade.
What songs take you back?
Anything like Peter Cetera, like I Am the
The
Man,
man
like that makes me think of like that time period.
I think of
Ace of Base.
Cruel Summer
Mm-hmm.
from Karate Kid, because not just because it's first day for him in the movie, but that was what we were listening to when I was in elementary school. So I think of Cruel Summer. I think of Material Girl by Madonna. I think of Cyndi Lauper. I even think of Grease 2, Back to School.
Back to school.
Every back to school season, that song plays in my head.
Yeah. Huey Lewis.
Can we just say again? I might as well pause and just reiterate: Grease 2 is better than Grease 1.
Dad actually thinks Grease 2 sucked. We actually had a conversation about this during golf.
All right, Dad. You're right in every respect, always and forever, except on this.
Yeah. Hey, Dad, how's it feel to be wrong? Yeah, like anything Huey Lewis, like on a sports album, I think of school, like back to school stuff.
Yeah. Those songs take me back for sure.
Did you like the Peter Cetera reference though?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's almost where my head went
like
first.
Scorpion.
Oh, Winds of Change.
That always makes me think of it.
That was middle school for me.
Yeah, so I was in elementary school, and I remember I went to Joe's house after school one time. Like I rode the bus with him, and they were playing that video on MTV. Like as soon as we got off the bus.
This is little. I'm backtracking here. we already talked about school lunch. Were you ever jealous of people who brought their own lunch?
I was gonna ask you that.
I was.
I tried the lunch from home stuff for like a very brief period in one of my grades, and it just didn't work for me. Like I could never get full enough.
Yeah.
And there was this one kid, Justin, that we went to school with all the way through high school, from elementary to high school, and he always packed his lunch.
Here's
ever
what
ate school lunch.
Here's what it meant for me. It was sort of deeper. It was not about the food, of course. And I don't want Mom to feel bad when she hears this.
I already know what you're going to say.
You know where I'm going.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
I saw it. You know, you look around, as fantastic as the school lunches were. We all knew that those of us who were eating school lunch had busy parents. And the kids around your lunch table who had the neatly packed, the cute little lunchbox and thermos, and
matching lunchbox and thermos,
and the fancy Ziploc bags. Like, I remember one time in kindergarten, we had to bring our lunch, and we didn't have brown sacks, nor did I have a lunchbox, and Mom packed my lunch entirely in aluminum foil. Like, entirely.
I remember.
I just walked to school with a big thing of aluminum foil. Okay? So that was traumatizing enough. But to me, it just meant our parents are busy. Your mom stays home.
Yeah.
Now,
I knew that's what you were going to say, by the way.
Mom would have stayed home. You know she would have.
Mm-hmm.
You know that's what she wanted to do. And that the only reason that she ended up going to work was because of Dad's health problems, and she realized she needed
a backup plan
in case something ever happened to him. So I know it was not Mom's choice to work her whole life. She wanted to take care of us and stay home. And she did. I mean, we were, like I said, girl went to the trouble to bleach our shoelaces so that we always looked nice, and we always had we always were clean, and we always had what we needed, and we were standout kids in that way. So she managed to make it happen, but there was something symbolic to me about the school lunch that made me long for a mother who stayed home. At the time, I didn't understand that it was not a choice she would have made. You know, it was just like everybody's parents were, because we were in that transitioning generation where you went from one household income to two. Because thanks, women's lib, thanks for nothing. I mean, seriously, that's what it got us was daycare centers, our daycare centers raising our kids, and our moms having to work even when they didn't want to. Did us no favors on a family level and on a society level, I think. But anyway, I'm getting on a soapbox here, but yeah, I always was a little jealous of a school lunch versus a lunch that your mommy packed. Yeah. Is that bad to say?
No, because I did think like that sometimes, but
and there were always the mothers who didn't work. Those were the mothers who came in for the class parties. Right. Those were the mothers who could volunteer. I never saw.
We noticed that.
Yeah, we never saw Mom at school.
Yeah, because I remember thinking, well, my mom's in Corden or wherever she was.
Yeah, she had to drive all the way to South Harrison and then to Corden, and it's like, and I know that it's not a choice she would have preferred, and it's not, she would have wanted. I'm sure she wanted to be there more than we wanted her there. Right. It's sad because there were those of us kids who, thanks to all the women's lib and we don't need men, let's go out and work. Right. You had a generation of us kids growing up with we were on that sort of that fence of it just taking shape in our society.
The wonderful thing is that's
like of both parents working and seeing the same moms year after year volunteering and never seeing Mom that would have been awesome.
Yeah. But the aluminum foil thing it's got me dead. That's hilarious. Because I totally had that experience too.
You did.
There was a short, brief time where I had my favorite He-Man thermos and lunchbox.
Yeah.
That I was obsessed with.
Yeah.
But I only used it twice.
Because you needed the fuel. You needed the carb loading.
I needed fuel. And honestly, it's going to sound super strange. But I remember one time opening my lunchbox thinking, it's weird for my food that came out of my pantry to now be inside of my school. This is not where it belongs. It belongs at home. I thought that was really strange.
I think I had that sensation too.
Isn't that funny?
Anytime those of us who didn't bring their lunch on habit, who had to bring their lunch. It was very strange. I remember.
These Doritos belong in that
Yeah.
pantry.
These chips taste different here.
Yeah, that's the Kool-Aid from my mom's jug that she had in the refrigerator.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up talking about our best and worst subjects.
I mean, mine had to be math. I mean, I literally made a teacher stop doing Around the World because of it.
Yeah. That's
And-
pretty legendary.
Well, and like to this day, I'm freaky about numbers and series of numbers and
yeah. Your head math is next level.
It's crazy. I still have people, and I don't even think about it. Like if I'm at a restaurant and they say, "Okay, 80 something," and I'm like, I already have it in my head, so I'll say it, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's fast." I'm like, "Yeah, I had it like 10 seconds ago."
Yeah. That is pretty impressive.
Um,
Meanwhile, I thought I was 48 for a year because I did the math wrong in my head.
Oh, you know what we should talk about really quick, and we'll close because we're talking about this. I remember when we went to school, being in like gifted and talented, and being like smart or perceived as smart.
I was.
It was like almost like a negative.
Yes.
I remember, especially if you played sports.
Yes.
Like, don't associate me with gifted and talented.
Well, yeah. Well, like once you get to middle school, that's when the separations and the cliques
Yeah.
sort of started. Like you were in a group and you couldn't waver.
Right. But you did at G&T.
I did.
Or GT. They encouraged mom and dad to have me in it, and I bawled my eyes out like, "Don't you dare put me in GT."
I'll be a nerd.
Well, just because I knew who was in it. And
Yeah.
I was like, none of them play on my basketball team. I'm going to be made because we made fun of. I mean, we were kids. We were young kids. We were judgy about it. But I knew I was smart enough to do it. But I cried to mom and dad, "Don't you dare," because Miss Hardy brought them into school to have a conference about it.
They didn't have it in our first school. They
Right.
had it in our second
Right.
school.
And so I was very adamant, no GT, no GT. Now what I've noticed when my kids were in school, all the athletes and stuff, they were all the smart ones, and they got off on being the smart ones, and they all did GT, and that's what everybody wanted to do.
Yeah.
It had really flipped.
It had because I taught AP.
Yeah.
I taught AP Lit and
Like
college
you were
credit
s-
speech,
like
and
you were perceived as like kind of not
Well, they
cool
were-
if you weren't in it. It's like the opposite.
the whole push for college, which again, another scam, but I don't have time for another soapbox.
Yeah.
But it was all about marketing yourself as a well-rounded student. So
Yeah.
you were in a little bit of everything.
Yeah, so like the cool kids nowadays are in GT and all that stuff, and like
Yeah.
before it was like, don't you dare put me in
Don't you
that.
dare put me in GT. I was guess
I
who was in
hated that.
guess who was in GT with me though? Dustin.
Of course he was.
Yes.
So I would say math. I think it was either 4th or 5th grade. I think it was 5th grade. Miss Downey, me and one other student, which she's passed away. This is really sad because we're old enough now where like classmates have passed away and stuff. So this particular classmate has passed away about 10 years ago from a complication of like a knee surgery of all things.
Oh, weird.
And I worked with her at the same company. Went to school with her since like 2nd grade. Anyway, me and her were the only two members of that class that she had to give us manila folders of special math. That when she said, "Get your math books out," Joe Holly come up to my desk and she had to give us our folders with these folders with our names on them. And I had to sit there and do like special math while everybody else was doing her math. Like she would do the class and me and Holly would do our own math.
Let's see, in middle school, I had to take an early bus
Right, I remember
to
that.
meet with Mr. Newton
Right.
to get special help
Right.
for math.
Well, so I was embarrassed. Like I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like I knew I was good at it, but she would specifically call us up to get those, and everybody would be like,
I love that kind of attention.
I got embarrassed. They'd start rumbling like, "Dude, you gotta go get your float," or they start making fun of you.
I loved it because it was a system I could understand.
I know, but
It was
I was
it was
more
a-
about the. I didn't want to be perceived as like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't like the nerd. Like,
Yeah, I
because I
didn't-
was playing sports and stuff at the time.
I didn't really care about that.
Yeah.
I was misunderstood no matter what.
Well,
so
I was just embarrassed because she called us out. We had to walk up there while everybody sat there and watched us walk up there.
I like the predictability of the grade system. Like you do this, you get that. You don't do this, you don't get that. And so that system
Yeah.
made life easier and more manageable for me. So I kind of like that attention. Again, you're dumb if you don't try to be a teacher's pet.
Yeah.
They're always going to help you out.
So I would say math for me, and then I hated history growing up, but I am obsessed with it as an adult.
Isn't that crazy?
So what were yours?
Well, my best subjects were always language, grammar,
I can definitely see that.
and then later years it was just reading comprehension, language,
Yeah,
grammar,
you were always really good at that.
and history. I always made like basically straight A's, but the math and science always came at such a struggle. Personally,
It surprises me that math you struggled with.
Well, because the higher you went, the fewer numbers you saw. Once math became all letters, I was done.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell?
Like variables and stuff.
Yeah, I had to get a tutor for. I had a fantastic tutor in college for calculus, and once I had her, a light switched on in my head, and I never missed a point after that. She just had the magic words, and I was very, very good at college statistics. Never missed a point.
Really?
A++++.
Statistics tough.
I guess because of my brain, because I'm autistic. Drink. One of my superpowers is pattern recognition, and I've always, and so statistics is a lot about pattern recognition, where you're basically proving what you already know.
Right.
So that came easy to me, oddly enough, and it was a math class, and so that was a big jolt of self-esteem for me, because math was always so hard, and science because everything was so abstract. You're talking about things that are too little to see.
Yeah, that's a good call. So I said I hated history, but I liked it as an adult. I wasn't bad at it. So our best and worst, math was best. Science was my worst. 100%.
Yeah.
Good call on that.
That was very tough for me.
Yeah, I was bad at science.
Yeah. So, but again, always a good student. But what would I go back now? Do you ever think to yourself, you have a crazy moment where you think, I'd love to take a class again. I would kick it. I would just kick its ass.
I think about that all the time.
I want to just take a random college class about something I'm interested in and just kick its ass.
Yeah, I've thought about that.
I think that's why.
Maybe we should do one together.
Oh my God, is this happening?
Are we doing this?
Dude.
Let's do it. Let's do like a night class somewhere. And we'll compete to see who gets the best grade.
Oh my God, Joe.
Of course, they probably make it too easy now. They probably make it too easy to like.
You probably don't even have to go to class now.
Yeah, like open book.
Deadline whenever.
Right. Just turn in whenever your feelings are up to par to turn
Okay,
in.
you know what? Listeners, hold us accountable for our end of the year check-in and our New Year resolution episode coming up. We will revisit this. We may be taking a class together next year.
Okay.
And it may be art.
Oh, God.
We'll take an art class and a math class
Oh, my goodness.
and see how well we do.
No art. No more art.
No more art. No more kiln. All right. So, the funny thing is, school felt so huge when we were in it. The teachers and the crushes and the cafeteria food, the fear of getting called on when you had not done the reading or the homework.
Yeah, and now half of it feels like a fever dream involving overhead projectors and square pizza.
Square pizza. Exactly. But so much of who we became was shaped like in those classrooms and those hallways, like not just by what we learned, but by how we learned to figure things out and to deal with embarrassment, like Dad taking you to apologize to that girl. We had to face consequences head on in real time, how to make friends, how to lose friends, how to get ourselves in and out of trouble and survive without being able to text our parents every 5 minutes.
Yeah, which in hindsight was probably character building.
Oh, without, or neglect. I mean, depends on who you ask.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I think that's why these memories still hit us so hard. Like going back to school wasn't just the start of another year. Like I said earlier, for me, it was a reset. New clothes, new notebooks, new teachers, new possibilities, and like absolutely no idea what was coming.
Which is probably why, even now, there's something about late summer that still makes you feel like you should be buying pencils.
And sniffing Scotch tape. This was fun.
That's right.
I've enjoyed it. But you know what I like best about this? Is that we actually don't have to go back to school. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord.
Testify.
Testify. Thank you so much for listening to another piece of the Gen X experience worth saving. From trapper keepers and cafeteria lunches to school dances, bus rides, all the awkwardness in between, our back-to-school memories have now been immortalized in the annals of history. If you like what you heard, subscribe to the Best of Gen X wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. Joe, always a pleasure.
No doubt.